All right, everyone, what is up here today? Just driving to work. Figured I'd make this video on the go. Nobody really requested this video, but I feel like I should make it anyway to just clarify. And this has to do with why I don't cover the Philadelphia Eagles as much as I used to. As you guys, a lot of you longtime subscribers know, that was pretty much the original goal of my channel, was that I just wanted to talk about the Eagles. And I live in Utah, so there's not a lot of people around here. I mean, surprisingly more so since the Super Bowl, but before that there really wasn't as many people in Utah that liked the Philadelphia Eagles. People around here are mostly 49ers, Seahawks, Broncos fans. A lot of new Rams fans now, actually. So, just more teams in this area. Cardinals fans is another one that you'll see Cardinals fans show up in Utah when the Cardinals are good. So there's been a lot more this year, and then I can't remember the year that Bruce Arians was at, 2015, when the Panthers lost to the Broncos, I think. Yeah, so in 2015 there was a lot of Cardinals and Broncos fans, so a lot of bandwagons here, actually, now that I'm talking about it. And this is why everybody asks me, why did you pick the Eagles? And this is why I picked the Eagles, because there's no team in Utah, and I wanted to pick a team that I liked, that I thought looked good. The big reason I picked the Eagles is they're green, which is my favorite color, really cool green. And then I love eagles as an animal. It's a really dope animal. I'm very pro America, pro liberty, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, hey, Philadelphia, it's where the Declaration of Independence was signed. You have a freaking bald eagle as your logo. There's wings on the helmet. It just, everything about the Eagles was right. And so, I wanted to pick a team that I could stick with forever as far as sports goes, and not be a bandwagon like a lot of my friends were at the time. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a rant there, but that's just more for people that don't know why I started this channel, and to segue into why I haven't been covering the Eagles as much. I'll leave a link in this video, actually. You'll probably see it up there. I made it in right before the 2020 season last year about why I am boycotting the NFL for that last year. And a big reason for that was because it just became too political. And keep in mind, I have nothing against politics. That's actually what I'm going to be doing a lot more of on my channel, is just issues and things that I want to talk about, until YouTube inevitably bans me, because YouTube is a sinking ship. But I just always felt as far as football went, that was something sacred. As far as, in a weird way, it was almost like a church experience, a religious experience, I guess, where when you watch football, nothing else mattered. That was the point. It's escapism at its finest. This is what movies used to give us until movies started having agendas as well. Movies just are ruining everything now. Star Wars, I heard the new James Bond is really bad. A lot of people are calling it the worst Bond film ever. So movies used to be that as well, where it was just there was messages to be told, but there wasn't really a political agenda per se. It was just more people actually wanted to make good stories, meaningful stories. And sports was kind of it was just escapism at its finest. And I feel men and women equally could have enjoyed it. Probably more so men, but husbands and their wives would watch it. I knew a lot of people that were like that, where they would just watch the Broncos or whatever. A big team in Utah, college-wise, is BYU. That's probably the biggest football sports team here, college. And I see so many couples that just like love the Cougars. So, and then the Jazz as well in Utah for basketball. This is how it was before, guys. In the 90s with Karl Malone and John Stockton and all that going on. I don't really know a lot about the Jazz. I just know that mostly because I hate basketball. But in Utah, it's like literally the only pro team we have. So everybody like loved, especially in the 90s. More so now as well because they're getting better. But in the 90s, they were like really good. So I remember that when I was a kid. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of like ranting as far as this goes, but that's the big reason, guys. Like, I just, I can't stand what's happening to entertainment. And I honestly feel like if I just continue to go with the flow, like a lot of people are nowadays, I'm not shouting anyone out here, not throwing shade or anything. This is like my own personal choice, something that I've been mulling over for like literally the last year and a half. Is that if I just continue to go with the flow of things going on right now in the world, like I just don't think that we're going to have the freedoms that we want to have. And because this is on YouTube, I can't really talk about, you know, the virus or the election or anything like that because they ban you. So that's a really good example, I guess, of what I'm really talking about is the fact that we're not allowed to talk about certain things is like all the evidence you really need, in my opinion, of like how bad it's getting. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm not covering the Eagles as much. Like I said, I am going to still cover them. I haven't made videos for the last the Cowboys game and then the Chiefs game. I did watch those games, but I just didn't really have a lot of thoughts on them because, you know, I was 50-50 with the Eagles, and they look, I don't even want to say they look bad. They just look like they're rebuilding. And yeah, Nick Sirianni, I was never excited about that guy. I said from the beginning, you guys can go back and check. I said from the beginning that the Eagles should have just got rid of Wentz, but kept Doug Peterson. So that was my thoughts on that. And also not firing Howie Roseman until they do that. I mean, that what can be expected? Until you fire Howie Roseman, the Eagles will be the Eagles. That we've very much entered a Jerry Jones type situation where they just won't fire Howie Roseman because Jeffrey Lurie just loves him so much for whatever reason. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'll probably make, I think they play the Panthers next. I will make a video after that discussing what I think about the Eagles after that game. But they could probably beat the Panthers. That's a winnable game. So that'd make them like 3-2 or something like that. Don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's why I'm not covering the Eagles. Just so you guys know, like, I'm not doing it because, like, I don't love football or whatever. I don't want to give you guys Eagles content. It's just the passion is not there for that right now, guys. Like, I just don't think talking about the Eagles all day and doing research on the Eagles is going to be as productive as the things that I'm really getting into lately, which is like cryptocurrency, you know, economics, finance in general. You know, politics is largely useless, but it's good to pay attention to it just so that you can see what's kind of going on in the world, and then philosophy, stuff like that. So that's kind of the rule of life, right, guys? If you're doing one thing, that means you can't do another. You can only do one thing at a time, really, and time is the most limited asset you have. So that's the bottom line for me, is that if I spend a lot of time on football and the Eagles, it's just going to mean that I'll have less time to do the things that I feel are more important right now. And so, yeah, more videos to come. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. Like I said, I cover those topics I mentioned before. If you guys are interested in anything in that regard, I'd be happy to make videos, you know, share some of my knowledge. There's lots of resources online already, but, you know, I've been reading tons of books, been watching tons of channels. I'm mostly on Odyssey now, not YouTube. So that's another thing I've been doing every video. If you guys are tired of the censorship as well, please, please, please go give me a follow on Odyssey. I have a link for Odyssey in the banner of my channel, and then also I leave a link for Odyssey in the description of every single video going forward. So if you're interested in that, then yeah, please go follow it. Odyssey is censorship free. It's built on the blockchain, like I've said before, which is that's a cryptocurrency thing. Basically, what it means is that it's decentralized. Your platform, your channel is your channel. Odyssey can't really dictate what they can do with the channel like YouTube. When you make a YouTube channel, you don't really own the YouTube channel, as you guys have seen. I think the newest thing, I made a video about how they are deleting channels over the vaccine, anti-vax videos. But now, if you talk about climate change, they're removing your channel. So yeah, like, I stick with it 100%, guys. If you are into any kind of curious, truth-seeking content, or you yourself are thinking of starting a platform, YouTube is not the one to do it on. You know, I know they seem like the big dog now, but just remember MySpace back in the day, if you guys are that old. I don't know. I know there's people now that they were born in the year 2000 that are 21 years old now, guys. That's crazy. 21 years old. That makes me feel old. But yeah, there's always a change in the vanguard in every generation. So just because like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, they look big now, that doesn't mean anything to me, because, you know, if you're censoring content, that usually means you've lost. I mean, that's what happened when we were young. If you're a millennial, this is what like the right wing did, right? They used to censor with religious reasons. They used to try to censor like video games and movies and all that kind of stuff, and they lost. So anyone that's trying to censor usually loses in the end. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I'm already at 12 minutes here. Just wanted to give a quick reason. That is why I'm not covering the Eagles as much. I'm not boycotting the NFL this year, though, like I did last year. So I will still be making videos on the Eagles when I feel like it, but it is no longer the focus of my channel completely. So if that upsets you guys, I'm sorry, but I just got to be real with you guys. That's how I've always been on here. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I'll talk to you all later.